Okay, so let's dive in. If you've seen Jab We Met, and honestly, who hasn't? You probably, like, totally fell for Geet.
Oh, absolutely. She's iconic. Everyone
Eh,
saw her as, the ultimate travel partner.
right. The dream companion, maybe even like the perfect person to spend your life with.
Full of life, so much self-belief,
Yeah.
just infectious.
Yeah.
Really makes you want to jump on a train immediately.
Exactly. But today we're digging into something a bit different. We're looking at this really interesting analysis we found.
Mm-hmm.
And it asks this core question: was Geet really that ideal? Or was she, maybe as the writer puts it, a well-packaged mirage? Maybe an illusion?
Yeah, it's quite provocative. It forces you to kind of peel back the layers, doesn't it?
It really does.
And what's fascinating as we get into the source material is how it just challenges those traditional views we have of Geet, of Aditya.
And their whole relationship dynamic, too.
Totally. We're going to unpack some, well, pretty surprising ideas about what they actually needed from each other, things you might not pick up on first watch.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So let's start there. What did Geet give Aditya? According to this view, anyway.
Yeah.
Because, on the surface, he's this intense business guy.
Right, button up.
And she's Geet. Very different energies.
Well, the analysis talks about something that calls Geet's positive narcissism.
Positive narcissism. Okay, that sounds like a bit of an oxymoron.
It does, but hang on.
Mhm.
The writer isn't using it like a clinical diagnosis or anything negative.
Right.
They mean it more like
Yeah.
her almost unshakable belief in her own amazingness.
Mm.
That whole main apnea favorite hoon thing.
Oh, okay. I am my own favorite, yeah.
Exactly. It's like this profound self-focus that just completely blocks out negativity from the outside world. She's kind of living in her own reality bubble.
Okay, so it's less about like a personality flaw and more a very intense self-focused trait that generates positivity for her.
Precisely. And the argument is this positive narcissism was exactly what Aditya needed at that point in his life.
That's a big claim. How so? How did that actually help him?
Well, think about Aditya's state. He was, really drowning. His business, his personal life, just a mess. Lots of negative self-talk.
Yeah, he was pretty low.
And the analysis suggests that Geet's constant chatter, her almost like delusional confidence, it literally drowned out those critical voices inside his head.
Wow. So her noise was actually helpful.
In a way, yes. Remember those train scenes? She's just talking nonstop, totally oblivious to his despair almost.
Right. For some people that might be annoying, but for him.
For him, it was a shield. The sheer volume of her self-belief protected him from his own negativity.
Huh. I never quite thought of it that way. So he found comfort kind of in her relentless optimism.
Yeah, solace is a good word. He saw her like totally irrational self-confidence, and it sparked something in him, maybe a tiny bit of his own self-worth.
And it pushed him to take risks.
It seems so, especially in business. He saw her being fearless, or at least appearing fearless, and maybe it rubbed off. And here's a really key point for the analysis. What was apparently so refreshing for Aditya was that Geet didn't expect anything from him.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, think about it. In his world, everyone wanted something.
Yeah.
His company, his family, demands. But Geet, she was completely self-contained in her bubble. She didn't need him to fix her or provide for her in that conventional sense. For him, that was liberating.
That really does reframe their early connection, doesn't it? It wasn't just him helping her. It was a two-way street, just maybe not in the way we assumed.
Exactly.
So, okay, that covers what Geet offered Aditya, this sort of positive delusion, this escape. But what about him? What did Aditya provide for Geet?
Right, because it has to balance out somehow.
Yeah. It wasn't just him passively receiving her energy, surely.
No, definitely not. And this is where Aditya's role becomes crucial. The analysis suggests he offered Geet the sanity she lacked.
Sanity, okay. Like a reality check?
Exactly that. A reality check. He was the anchor. While she was off in her own world, making these grand, sometimes pretty impractical plans.
It's like running away to marry someone she barely knew.
Precisely.
Yeah.
He was the quiet, steady presence. Think about how he calmly dealt with situations, getting tickets, finding her family, just being there when her schemes might have gone wrong.
He was kind of the hidden safety net.
Yes, always there to subtly rescue her, often from herself. And the source suggests she actually really loved that unspoken support, even if she didn't fully realize it.
So it wasn't really about a typical romance starting, was it? Not initially.
Not in the conventional sense, no. It was more about fulfilling these really deep, maybe even unconscious needs for survival, for growth.
Like a psychological symbiosis.
That's a great way to put it, a profound interdependence. He needed her, well, near delusional optimism to break out of his funk.
And she needed his groundedness, his sanity, to keep her from just floating away entirely.
Exactly. He kept her tethered to reality, just enough.
So, wrapping this up then, what's the takeaway for you listening to this? It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
About how relationships, maybe even the ones that don't look like the fairy tales, can be these incredibly powerful tools for like personal change.
Yeah, they can bring out things in us or
Yeah,
fulfill needs we didn't even know we had.
totally. It wasn't just a love story, it was a transformation story for both of them, driven by what the other person uniquely provided.
Which leads us to maybe a final thought for you to consider. Something to chew on.
Okay.
If Aditya needed Geet's delusion, let's call it that, to find himself and thrive, and Geet needed Aditya's sanity to stay stable,
Mm-hmm.
then what kinds of mirages, those maybe unrealistic but comforting ideas or people, or what kinds of anchors, those grounding forces do you seek out?
Right. What do you look for in your own life for that balance, for growth?
It really makes you question the nature of, needing other people. Interdependence,
Yeah.
inspiration. Where does it truly come from? Is it always rational?
A lot to think about there. Really changes how you might see relationships and maybe even that movie next time